Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here representing Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and today we're going to debunk this crazy, ludicrous idea that cardio kills gains. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, it'd be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you'll be kind enough to drop a comment down below, I'd appreciate it so much. Thank you. All right, so I think we need to look no further than Olympic cyclists with their enormous bodybuilder quads to think that this is silly, right? Absolutely silly. Same thing. I mean, sprinters have no gains, right? They do lots of cardio, lots of running. No, but that aside, again, the idea is rather silly. And I think maybe people get this idea due to a couple of misconceptions, right? They have some misconceptions. All right. Number one, maybe they see pure marathon runners who don't do much lifting, like extreme endurance athletes who don't necessarily do a lot of lifting, and they're like, aha, so they're not jacked, so it must destroy gains. Or people come over to, well, you know, lots of bodybuilders and other people they'll add a lot of cardio in when they want to cut. But I think realistically, this is just a silly idea, okay? Because if your energy is balanced, right? If you're eating enough food to cover the training, right? If you're eating enough food to handle the cardio, it really shouldn't be catabolic to muscle tissue at all. Now, early on, can there be some negative adaptations when you first add new cardio in? Of course. Will your performance, especially on maybe some of your leg work, regress? Of course. You know, or if you're trying to do a bunch of upper body cardio too, like a rower or whatever, yeah, your bench pressing and your pull-ups and stuff may go down a little bit the first couple of weeks, right? It might take you several weeks to adapt. So there can be an adaptation process due to a new training stimulus. But are we talking about actually losing muscle? Yeah, probably not. And I think what people need to think about too in the long term, being cardiovascularly fit can enhance your gains in the long term. Okay, it can enhance your gains in the long term. Because again, you're going to look at the clearing out of waste products. You're going to look at better overall health, better recovery, right? Being fit can really help your recovery from training. But at the end of the day, these are ludicrous ideas. I mean, case in point, I still have pretty dang big legs right now, and I've been doing pictures like kind of showing here and there. I've added in all this running. I've added a lot of cardio in. My legs haven't gotten smaller at all. I've started running really fairly seriously again at this point. I'm putting in about 30 miles a week or so at this point. You know, just a rough estimate. Maybe some of this would be higher by the time certain parts of this video hit. But my legs have not shrunk as a result, right? And it's pretty normal for me to go over 5 miles on a non-lifting day, 2.5 or so on a lifting day. It's pretty normal for me. My legs aren't smaller. And then I do lifts on my bike and stuff a lot of times the same days later, 45 minutes, an hour. All right? It's not costing gains. This is silly. And lots of people who do lots of cardio point this out. You know, and there's even pro bodybuilders who do a fair amount of lifts, but then you look at people who are hybrid type athletes. I know numerous athletes who are serious lifters who also go do endurance events. They do marathons. They still have jacked legs. I know numerous guys who do this. Okay? You really think if you squat 500 plus pounds, if you go start taking up running and you keep lifting, that you're going to lose leg size? No. Okay, but I can tell you what hurts gains, not being fit. How about having a heart attack because you're not fit or healthy? How about because you do no cardio and you only do... So usually the people who do this are not athletic people, right? The people who have these ideas are guys who are purely chasing aesthetics or bodybuilding. Okay, that's the people who say this. Athletic people don't usually think this, okay, who train and are jacked. I mean, case in point, we could talk about boxers and NFL players and people, right, who are still pretty dang jacked while doing large amounts of cardio and have a lot of conditioning training. But I digress. Who is it who you see making these claims? It's usually the purely bodybuilding bros. And they're not necessarily very fit people because they're lifting, you know, with very oftentimes not a lot of leg stuff. They're using usually body part splits who, you know, just not that fit. They're training in a way to where they're isolating everything. It's machines on everything, who are worried about cardio hurting their gains. And it's like, I get it. Weight training and serious lifting can absolutely improve cardiovascular health. We have good data on it. In fact, it technically really good training is slightly better for cardio on a 1-for-1. But these guys are usually not doing that. It's not oftentimes a lot of leg work. They have maybe a leg day. They're not doing a lot of squatting. They're not doing a lot of really athletic stuff in the gym with their lifting. Okay? A lot of machines, a lot of isolation, and then they're not doing cardio. And usually the guys who do this are probably going to do a bit of gear. If they're that obsessed with it to where they're not going to do cardio, they're probably doing a bit of gear. All right, so I can tell you what's going to hurt your gains: having a heart attack. Okay? Being unfit is going to interfere with your recovery. Okay? It's going to interfere with your recovery. And by the way, you guys see me doing all my stuff here. Yeah, I sprint with the sled. I'm 48, I'm not some young guy. So for guys like me and the rest of us, we got to think about our fitness and our health, man. It's about longevity. And too many guys get so caught up in this. Is exactly what I hate about all I care about hypertrophy, and they don't care about performance, strength, athleticism, conditioning. That's nonsense. Okay, if that's all you care about, you're not going to be fit. You're not going to be healthy. And this mindset is a perfect example. They're literally like, oh, I'm just not going to do cardio because it's going to hurt my gains. No, that's BS. It's just being lazy, and it's being an unfit, useless piece of crap. Okay, just stop. Right? You're not going to do cardio? No, you should be fit. You should be athletic. Like if you're someone who goes to the gym and works out, absolutely should be well-rounded and fit. And cardio is going to help you live longer. In the long term, it's going to help with your recovery from your lifting. Okay? And plenty of people do lots of cardio who are still elite athletes, strength athletes, NFL players, boxers, power lifters, strong men, and then CrossFitters. And I think that's a great example. You got CrossFitters and stuff who still squat 500 pounds, who have amazing mile, amazing 5K times, who are still jacked, still have great legs, and yet they do all this cardio. Clearly the cardio and conditioning and being well-rounded is not hurting their gains. And you don't even have evidence for it at this point. A lot of the old data they've looked at, like once you adapt to it, it's perfectly fine. Like cardio and mixed training like that, once you adapt to it, which can take a few weeks, has no negatives to that, as long as you're getting the sleep, recovery, and the food that you need.